In this video, we're going to be talking about Airbnb's IPO and the future of short-term rentals, so stay tuned. Vacation Rental Machine helps hosts just like you learn how to start, grow, and scale your short-term rental business. This show is all about creating systems that help you automate your business, giving you more time and money freedom. If you're ready to start living the vacation rental life, then subscribe to this podcast today. Come and join us on our Facebook group, The Host Nation, where we'll be talking about starting, automating, and scaling a short-term rental business. Now, on to the show. Hey, welcome back to another episode of Vacation Rental Machine. I'm Julian Sage with John Bell, and today we're talking about how Airbnb's IPO affects short-term rentals moving forward in the future. So Airbnb just had their initial public offering, and they're sitting at around, I believe, the 140 per share mark. So really, really nice. They literally doubled from what their pre-IPO sales were going for around, I think it was about $60 per share. Now they're at around 140, 120. So really, really strong. But what does that exactly mean for Airbnb, for short-term rentals as an investment vehicle? So, John, what are some of your thoughts on how Airbnb's IPO, just doing so well, and what some of those numbers look like in comparison to maybe traditional hotels, and what that might implicate for short-term rentals moving forward in the future?
Well, I would say if anybody has been looking for a sign, whether this is a viable business or something that they should jump in on, you have your indicators today. So as of, I think this is the second day since the IPO was released, Airbnb is valued more than our traditional hotel chains. We're talking surges of 120% from when they first went public, which puts them over $100 billion. And that is more than Marriott, which is our biggest hotel chain. They're sitting somewhere at about 46. You can add in Hilton, you can add in Hyatt, and they still, from their initial day, the day one, Airbnb surpassed all of those. So if there's one thing that just says, "Hey, this is almost the way of the future," we're talking not even just a disruptor at this point. We're talking now almost maybe a standard.
I always like to go back to, vacation rentals have been around for such a long time. They've predated a lot of the booking sites. They've been around since, the early, mid-centuries, with people just purchasing their homes, these properties for vacation rental and for this type of, temporary stay use. These are fully furnished properties that they would stay in, or they'd have their guests or their family stay in. So it's been around for quite a long time, but just because more so recently we've been seeing more of this modernization, this more urbanization, as we like to call it, of short-term rentals, taking it maybe not strictly from these vacation rental destinations, but now we're seeing people having Airbnb properties in major metropolitan cities, which is directly competing against where a lot of these hotels have been primarily focused. In these vacation destinations, there might have not been as many hotels, because obviously the hotels were getting beat out by a lot of these vacation rentals. But now we're seeing these short-term rentals in a lot of these urban areas, and people are starting to get really creative right now with how they are trying to integrate short-term rentals into their business. We're seeing it in a lot of different type of investment vehicles, whether that is commercial, like multifamily. We're seeing people that are literally, taking property, taking a plot of land and then building a bunch of tiny homes, or these, small cottages, or, shipping container properties. People are getting really creative with how they are utilizing short-term rentals, because that really is the future of traveling. And I think that Airbnb's IPO and its huge evaluation, definitely rivaling and beating out all of the major hotel brands, really kind of sets the precedence that short-term rentals are here to stay. It's the very, very early stages still for how people are really utilizing it. I don't think this is a very tapped market yet, still, because there still is a lot of work that needs to be done with regulations, with how people are going to be investing. But that's really good for us, because we're literally at the beginning stages of this new, really, I think it's like a renaissance of short-term rentals, and how this is going to be impacting the future of investing, travel, And even right now, like with everything that's happening during COVID, there's a lot of uncertainty, a lot of fear on the market, which is even better for us as active hosts, active investors in the space, because now, we're coming in. There's a strong understanding that short-term rentals are here. There's a lot of less competition because people have definitely backed out. The hotels have taken definitely a big hit. Us being short-term rental operators, though, are really in a prime position, I feel like. What do you think about that, John?
Yeah, I definitely agree. And just to kind of bring this a little further home, I mean, we're talking Airbnb compared to hotels, but we all know Airbnb is a marketing channel. So if we want to put it into context against other marketing channels, Booking.com is going to be the biggest. And with that, Airbnb is now worth more than Booking.com. Booking.com, of course, has been a major player and just across the board with all hotels, marketing them and having them up. But right now, Booking.com is evaluated at around $85 billion, and Airbnb surpassed them technically on their first day. Of course, this is a stock market. These things will go up and down. But just as a foundation, again, we're talking outbeating the hotel market, outbeating the other marketing market of just being publishing listings. So yeah, this is great. This is great for all of us because this is definitely building on a foundation that is going to have people, one, searching Airbnb. So that means new clients. That means new guests coming to stay. That means people that actually, like we said in the previous video, that have invested using it as a sole source of way of travel. So literally, if you're hosting right now, I would say get your S together, right? You you want to make sure that you're putting your best foot forward so we can retain all of these people because it does help the community with overall just marketing, right? If you do a good job, that person books again with somebody else. It's something that we can help feed each other.
I like to compare Airbnb to Amazon because Amazon really has disrupted the way that people shop online. I think it's kind of funny that, like, even myself, I find myself, I'll shop on Amazon because I don't want to have to deal with a bunch of different websites, having a bunch of different credit cards, a bunch of different tracking information. If I can order everything from Amazon and I know, like, hey, I'm going to get, I ordered something on Amazon and it arrived literally the night that I ordered it, it showed up before the time that I woke up. I feel like Airbnb, it definitely has its things as operators in the space. We can definitely look at Airbnb and say, hey, there's some issues there, but there's a confidence that a lot of people have when it comes to traveling that they are that they have in Airbnb because of the way that they operate. And I think that that just really sets a strong precedence for how people will be operating or trying to travel in the future. Even today, as we're talking to investors and talking to other people in the space, everybody still says these are Airbnb properties. Airbnbs. To us, they're short-term rentals. Airbnb is just a booking platform, but to the majority of the public, it's all Airbnb to them. So really, just that means that there is a lot more eyeballs on Airbnb and short-term rentals, that this is a mode of traveling. This would be the preferred way to be able to go to a destination as opposed to going to a Marriott website or, just typing into Google, going to this location. People are having and showing their preferred choice of travel being Airbnb. Is that good for us as hosts? Obviously we want to be able to have direct booking sites. We want to be able to diversify, collect that client information. But as a means of an investing vehicle, as a means of the business growing, I think that this is a really good, strong, maybe potential trade-off. So question today, what are your thoughts on Airbnb's IPO and the future of short-term rentals? Would love to be able to see what you guys see for the future of short-term rentals in the comment section down below. And of course, if you haven't subscribed to us on YouTube, of course, hit that subscribe button, like this video if you want to see more comments and kind of our thoughts on these types of topics. I know that typically we do have a structure with how we talk about these things, but this was a little bit more, just our personal opinions. So if you like what you see, hit the like button, subscribe, and we'll talk to you all in the next episode. Keep on hosting. If you'd like John and I to answer your guys' questions, then be sure to go to the Host Nation Facebook group and use hashtag AskVRM. Hope you hosts found value in this episode. If you did, please go on over to iTunes and leave us a review, as that would greatly support the show. If you'd like to connect with John, the community, and I, then go on over to our Facebook group, The Host Nation. Talk to you hosts in the next episode. Keep on hosting.